morning, Aletheia Church family. It is Holy Week, and that makes it an amazing time to meditate on the Scriptures. What we're going to do over the next few days is we're going to look at a few of Jesus' interactions that he has in the lead up to his death on the cross. And we're going to find out what they mean about who Jesus is and what he's accomplished through his death and through his resurrection, and then what it means for us to respond accordingly. The one we're going to look at today is where Jesus is at a dinner party and a woman comes in and pours an expensive flask of ointment all over his head. Now, that's never happened at any dinner party I've ever been a part of, and yet 3 of the 4 Gospels tell this story. So I want to find out why it's important and what it means for us. This is Matthew chapter 26, verse 6. Now when Jesus was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, a woman came up to him with an alabaster flask of very expensive ointment, and she poured it out on his head as he reclined at table. When the disciples saw it, they were indignant, saying, "Why this waste? This could have been sold for a large sum and given to the poor." But Jesus, aware of this, said to them, "Why do you trouble the woman? For she has done a beautiful thing to me. For you always have the poor with you, but you will not always have me. In pouring this ointment on my body, she has done it to prepare me for burial. Truly I say to you, wherever the gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her." My wife and I this month are celebrating 7 years of marriage. And so I've been thinking about, during the quarantine, how to celebrate our anniversary. And of course, there are limited options for obvious reasons, but we both love great food. So the way we're going to celebrate is by either ordering in or cooking some really, really delicious food. And the thing that's going to make that possible is to spend more money on the food. So you can see this correlation between what you offer and what you give and the value that you put in the celebration of the moment and celebrating each other. Now that is exactly what this woman at this dinner party is doing. She is taking something of extreme value to her and she is pouring it out. She is giving it for Jesus. And I think what this shows us, because remember it says that wherever the gospel is proclaimed, what this woman has done is going to be told in memory of her. I think the example that she gives to us is that it is a beautiful thing to give of yourself lavishly for Jesus. Now notice how the disciples respond. What do they say? "What a waste! What a waste!" And I think in those words it sums up the thing that can prevent you from giving of yourself lavishly to Jesus. It might be some voices, maybe some from people from people that you love and whose opinion you value, who might tell you, "Hey, don't give of your career to honor Jesus. Imagine, what a waste. Look at what you could do. Don't give so generously towards kingdom purposes. What a waste. Imagine what you could do with that money. Don't open up your life to the lordship of Jesus and your relationships and your decisions. What a waste. Imagine what you could do. What a waste." And yet, why did this woman pour this flask of ointment over Jesus' head? It's because, for her, Jesus was of ultimate value. In John chapter 12, we actually learn who this woman is. She's Mary, the brother of Lazarus, whom Jesus raised from the dead. And the reason she is giving of herself so lavishly is because Jesus is of ultimate value to her. I mean, think about it. Jesus raised her brother from the dead. And then he said, "I am your Savior, your Savior too, Mary." For her, there was nobody more valuable. Nothing of greater value than Jesus himself. And notice Jesus says, "She has done this in preparation for my burial." Here's where I think you find the power and the willingness to give of yourself lavishly for Jesus. When you see that the culmination of this Holy Week and what we remember, Jesus' death on the cross and his resurrection was done for you. then Jesus becomes of the greatest value, more valuable than anything else in your entire life. That's when you're ready to give of yourself lavishly for Jesus. And my friends, when you do that, of your finances, of your relationships, of your love, of your emotion, of your commitment and dedication, when you give of yourself lavishly to Jesus, it is a beautiful thing. God bless you.